Hi everyone and welcome to Studio de Sol. My name is Lina and today's video is going to be another episode about polymer clay. Today I want to show you how you can create a 3D painting using polymer clay, so let's get started. If you want to support me and my channel, don't forget to hit the red button, like this video, leave a comment down below, and let's keep going. Today's project was inspired by the lilac blooming all over Chicago, so I decided to create my own piece of this beautiful flower. And for that, I'm gonna be using polymer clay. I already did the tutorial on how to do the 3D art using air dry clay, so check it out. And for today's project, I'm gonna be using the regular polymer clay that you need to bake. And here's everything I'm going to be using in today's project. It's going to be the wooden base, some metal wire, polymer clay of course. I'm going to be using some of the leftovers to create the background. Also, I made the draft on paper, as you can see. I'm going to be using a lot of the purple color today. I'm going to be also making different shades and tones of the purple color. Starting by conditioning the clay. And here are the 3 tones I'm going to be using for the lilac. Then I'm conditioning the color for the background, flattening it on a minimum thickness on a pasta machine, and then also going over with the rolling pin to make it even flatter. Then cutting off the shape of my base and attaching it. Also cutting off some excess. And when the background is ready, I'm just putting my base on the side and start making the flowers. I'm taking the little piece of the purple clay, make it into the sphere, then I'm just pinching it a little bit on one of the sides just for me to hold on it. Then the sphere side of this piece of clay, I'm dividing into 4 equal parts. It's gonna be future 4 petals. Then I'm taking the wooden stick, applying this into the center, and little by little, one by one, I start flattening each of the parts to make them into the petal shape. And here again, I'm taking the piece of clay, then making it into the sphere, then pinch from one of the sides, holding it, and then dividing into 4 equal parts, separate them from each other, and then using the wooden stick, I start flattening this little by little. And here's the little lilac flower. And now I need to make about 100 of those little flowers. Also, since it's a 3D painting, I'll need some of the flowers to pop up from the base. And for that, I'm gonna be using some wires to add some volume to my flowers. And for that, it's the same procedure. Just first, I'm applying the clay on the wire, and then again, I'm dividing this into 4 parts and flattening each of the little petals. A little tip here is if your clay gonna be too warm or too soft, you can put this for 5 minutes to the fridge to cool it down a little bit, and it's gonna be easier to cut it into 4 parts. It's not gonna be as gooey, and it's gonna be pretty firm to form all of those little details. Also, if the little petals are sticking on your finger, you can add a little bit of the baby powder on your fingers. When I'm done creating the little flowers for the lilac, I start making the little green leaves. For that, I took the green clay, cut out the shapes of the leaves. I didn't use any cutters, the shape of the approximate how the leaves look like. And then I'm using silicone molds to add some texture to it. And besides the flowers, we also gonna need little buds, like the flowers that are not open yet. And for that, you're doing the same procedure, you just not opening up and not flattening those petals. You just you just need to divide the piece into 4 parts, and that's it. It's gonna look like this little bud that didn't open up yet. Then I'm dividing some of the little flowers that with the wires, and little by little I start attaching those flowers to the base. To attach the flowers to the base, I'm using an awl. Then I'm just pinning it from the center where it's like the most of the clay is, and gently attaching it to the base or to another flower. And then to cover up this hole from the awl, I'm using the yellow clay to create the center of the flower. And here's how my final piece looks like. I'm just going over again before baking to make sure that I covered up all of those attachment holes or anything that looks a little bit different. And then I'm sending the piece to the oven for 40-50 minutes. And here's my baked piece. As you can see, the clay got stuck pretty well to the base. I had to use the craft knife to separate it from the base. And then to glue it to the base, I'm using epoxy resin, securing it with a masking tape and leaving it to cure for 24 hours. Then I didn't like that the resin on the edges was pretty visible. It kind of got soaked by the wood. And then I decided to cover the edges with this lilac color using acrylic paint. Here's my final result. Share with me in the comments below if you like this tutorial, if you like how my little 3D painting came out. Also, if you're following any of my tutorials, don't forget to mention me of any of my social media. I'd really appreciate that. And this is it for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to share with me in the comments below if you like this tutorial. Also, like this video, and we'll see each other in the next one.